Man, you come straight out of a comic.
Yeah, man. You know, that's the power of the StreamYard, man.
All right.
Play our intro. We come on through, man. Yeah. We live right now. Welcome. Appreciate it. I wish I could find it again so I can update it. They got the A in it, but we still rocking right now. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Straight Out of a Comic Book. We are live right now on Arcade Token's YouTube, my YouTube channel, and my Twitch channel as well. We'll have the people rolling in just a second. Comments coming in. Of course, we have young Deuces and Clint Coley. And today is a big day. It's just Marvel Day, man. We got Loki season finale. We got the Marvels coming out in theaters. So man, it is just shout out to Tom Hiddleston and his wife, man. It is a great Thursday for them right now.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
Fellas.
Definitely a great Thursday.
Today
first of all,
is
can we also point out, and I don't know if people seen this on the credits, but Tom Hiddleston is an EP.
Yeah,
on Loki, right? Like yep. I be peeping this kind of stuff, but Tom Hiddleston is definitely like, and I don't know, like a lot of y'all don't know if y'all know how the business work and stuff like that. An EP credit is not easy to come by. They don't just give those out. You got to be like yeah, dog. Like he EP credit is not a that's not light. So definitely want to shout him out for that, man. He definitely got an EP credit.
Hell yeah, man! He was smart, man.
Yeah, and because that usually that means that they're extremely involved with like how the show's going and everything like that, right? And keep me real, because when I seen that, and one of the reasons why I think that this season is working, and again, this is just me basing it off of the limited knowledge of that role that I understand, but I'm like, I feel like when it comes down to these superhero properties, just even in general, if somebody is not connected to it on an emotional level where they want to see the growth of the character, the best storytelling and everything like that, then it kind of fails. So I feel like with Loki, I feel like, you know what I'm saying, he has a deeper connection to this character, to this show, to the success of it, where he's like, you know, like if they propose like a crazy ass storyline, he would interject like, wait, I don't think that this is what Loki would do or anything like that.
So I will say, as somebody who is an EP, right? You don't always get creative control, or you don't always get creative control when you are EP, right? So it's like some EPs are literally EPs because they're the money behind it, or they put some money behind it, right?
Okay.
Some EPs, like, so in Loki's case, I think he probably worked that into his agent, worked that into his contract. Was like, look, like this guy is the face. Not only he's like, you got to look at the backstory too, right? Like Loki is in how many Marvel titles? He's in he's in all three Thors. He's in Avengers. He was the main villain in Avengers 1. He was in Avengers 3. And now he's on the second season of Loki. And on top of that, he knew going into negotiations that Loki is the most popular show by Marvel on Disney Plus. So my thing is that, why not ask, or why not have your agent say, yo, can I get an executive producer credit or something that I know? Because, like, let's be real, right? So what the reports I'm hearing about tonight is that it does sew up everything. Like they do, apparently they do sew up everything, but there's still room for a Loki season 3 if they choose to do it. And you're banking on the fact that you're banking on the fact that there is an opportunity for another show, which means if you're another show, Tom Hiddleston gets, like, people don't know this, EPs get 10% of the budget just for being an EP.
Right.
That's not even that's not including his actor's fee or anything like that. Speaking of actors fee off strike, you know what I'm saying? So yeah.
And you know, I'll take it a step further about the Loki character. Loki actually may be one of the, if not the most important character of the MCU, because he also proposed and brought up the idea that the Hulk was the key of like destroying the Avengers. Because when he did that and he had that, if you think about in every Avengers, in every moment, the Hulk is always a catalyst of either destruction or he's the Hail Mary. He's like, it's always came down to him until they nerfed him and made him who he is now. But like when he took over Banner's mind and sent them on that rampage. Every time that some shit goes down, Banner is always the situation. Like he literally had to get off world in order for them to be like, all right, we just get you off the world for a minute. Like go because you causing way too much destruction. What's the second Avenger? Age of Ultron. That whole shit. Like the world saw Hulk, and the world like Tony had to do the Hulk Buster suit because of that. And again, this is all stemming from Loki fucking proposing that idea. Like, oh shit, we gotta do something about this Hulk. So it's like Loki has played a key part in pretty much every phase. And if they're gonna wrap this up and kind of tie everything together, that's only going to just make his character way more important.
Mm-hmm. Let's also not forget that Hulk's been a real bitch in this MCU since he's been cast. I'm just gonna be the one to say it, man. Hulk has not been hulking this entire MCU. I ain't blaming Mark Ruffalo, but Hulk been a whole hoe since Avengers. Like I'm not fucking. No, I'm before that. I ain't been fucking with I ain't been fucking with Hulk. When I heard I'm always angry, and you just don't look angry, even when you the Hulk. Even Age of Ultron, you were that was Scarlet Witch. So it's like, I can't even really blame you on that one. You wasn't really you had like a B+ in the first Avengers fighting the Centauri, and then you ain't really had no highlight since then. If you think about it, since Age of Ultron,
really
what was
no
next?
Highlight since then.
Damn, he hasn't.
Then the next one, you just showed that you was a bitch. You didn't even come off the bench. You was like, I don't want to play. They told you, hey, just come get in for 2 minutes. No. This nigga was not. This nigga ran in the same Hulk suit that whooped his ass. And now he got a kid? This nigga left the planet and still got his ass whooped by Thor. Twice. This nigga beat your ass twice. They had to shock him so they could throw it to where he won. This nigga's been bitch made the whole time. I just want to see a better Hulk. I just had to throw that out there. I'm sorry. That shit pissed me off every time I see the Hulk. And he's supposed to be getting his own movie. I'm like, if I see Seth Rogen in any of this fucking Hulk movie, I'm done. I'm around because I feel like that's what they because it feels like they're gonna make this a comedy. They feel like they're gonna make this Hulk solo movie a comedy. I feel it. I feel it in my nuts, man. After She-Hulk.
Whoa, wow.
And he got his ass whooped in She-Hulk.
Did he?
Yeah. She-Hulk beat his ass.
Yeah, she did. God damn, you're right.
Hulk been a whole hoe out here for the last
matter of fact,
15
they took
years.
everybody. They turned Abomination into a different person too. Bro, they it's like anybody with that serum is not what they is anymore.
They got that nigga doing yoga.
Yoga. At first, this nigga was in a fight club in Shang-Chi, and then now this nigga doing yoga.
He's doing
Come
yoga.
on, man. But this ain't about them. This ain't about them. This is about Loki. This is about Loki. Okay, we talking about season 5 on here and everything like that. So, of course, shout out to the people who are watching and here. This is live. For some reason, people be feeling like, man, is this pre-recorded? Because they feel like we ain't saying nothing to them. But it's like, no, it's live. We here. So the last one we got science fiction. Science/fiction is the actual title of the episode. Yeah. And we find Loki is time jumping again. And time jumping into different spaces. So my question is that I have for this one, why is that happening when I thought he was cured already?
That's a great question. I don't know. If I'm being honest, I've been trying to figure that out too. It got to have something to do with the loop, right? Or is it the fact that he, because it says that he, at the end of the episode, he finally is able to control the time jumping. But it's like, we thought you already took care of that, but clearly it's whatever was supposed to happen after that. I don't know. You know what? I got a theory. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
I got a theory in regards to it. So because if we look into how it was going and things that he was trying to uncover, and how this episode ended, it is purely based off of, like you said, off of the control, off of you feeling like you are under control, right? So as he was going up and he was working towards it, yes, he was trying to get everybody together. Yes, he was jumping the timelines and everything like that, but he started understanding what he was up against, right? He started getting to a level of understanding, and they truly thought that once they got He Who Remains and he was going to go through there, that everything was going to be fixed. So I feel like as his confidence level came, he started controlling it more. Like at the point he didn't know that it was up to his control, but he started controlling it more. So when everything exploded and it kind of reset it, his mind was like, well, shit, I thought I had it down pat, and now he's back in that level of confusion where now he doesn't have control again. So now he was back slipping because, you know, when it reset and everything, like he was standing there, everybody was gone. It looked like everything reset on like in there. So he's like, again, he's confused again, and that's what caused him to time slip again. That's my theory, at least.
Nah, to your point though, on that, Deuce, it could also tie in with fear, because that's the first time we really seen him very petrified, to the point where whatever control you may have thought had here now ain't there anymore because of the state that you in, and then hit that fight or flight mode. So you might be onto something with that he had been controlling it the whole time, and just right now it just so in other words, it didn't work. Which now makes more sense to why Victor died, because everything they did not work.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
So it wasn't him that did it. He just learned how to control it when he came back in.
Yeah. And then another thing. So I think it was 2-3 episodes ago, whatever, when we was like, man, I wonder how it looks when a timeline gets purged. Bro, that shit is terrifying. Bro, you know how terrified I would be just to see strings of shit coming towards me and the world breaking down? Which
scene was the most terrifying to you when it happened? Because mine was the record player. Mine was the record store.
Yeah.
Like that one that was like, yo, I was like, that was creepy as fuck.
So the record store, because it was just like, it's happening as it, like, imagine being like, you're chilling. Like, you know me, I'm a record enthusiast. I collect that shit. I'm in the record store minding my business, and all I see is everything around me just disintegrating. Like, this is worse than the snap.
It is.
If I'm being honest. This is worse than the snap. Because at least the snap took away just half of the people. So you don't know, you know what I mean? Like, not to say that that's good or anything, but humanity was still around and there was still stuff around. This shit, nothing survives. I'm talking about not even as something as like nothing survives. Everything becomes nothing. One thing I do want to say about this episode, though, was because I knew this was going to be kind of like, I don't want to say a filler episode, but you know, Will, I've been paralleling this season to last season, and it's damn near everything that they tried to accomplish in each episode last season. They do the same thing this season. So if you remember in last season's episode, what was it, right? It was, we're in the void. Yeah, we're seeing what the void looks like, but we're also meeting different variants of Loki. And as we're meeting different variants of Loki, we're starting to understand him a little more, and they're starting to understand each other a little more. That's how you get the, Richard Grant's character, blah, 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 blah. Only to then, the last episode was, oh, we about to go into the Citadel at the end of time because we finally figured out, okay, how we're going to tame a life and blah, 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 blah. Well, this episode did the same exact thing, right?
Yes, it did.
This episode, they gave us the backstory of everybody we care about at the TVA. Nigga, to find out Casey is a fugitive,
bro.
Based off of a real, and they all based off of real people. Right. They based off of real people. I realized that. Yeah, Timely is based off of Nikola Tesla. Casey is really based off of a real Alcatraz person that escaped. And I was like, oh shit. And and Owen Wilson's character is somebody on the show. One of the people on the show behind the scenes of the production cast actually used to work doing jet skis before coming to work and do this shit. So that's where they got that storyline from.
And you know what's even better? I love the fact that, you know, his timeline was 2022. And it's like he said, my wife is gone. Yo, bro, don't forget, they're mid-blip on that timeline, in that timeline. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, I didn't even think about that.
He's mid blip. He's mid blip.
Yo, and so I got a question.
Yeah.
What if Mobius knew that already? Like, yo, what if Mobius, what if Renslayer never wiped his mind and he knew that? That's why he didn't want to go back. So everybody kept saying, why you don't want to go check out your timeline?
Yeah,
because he already knew. He knew what his timeline was. Even the jet ski shit, he knew. It wasn't him playing around thinking about it. He knew where he was from. And he didn't want to go back and feel that pain of not having his boys and his wife be. Yo! Oh, that's deep as fuck.
Yeah, because you know what? And I was gonna say, because he did kept on. Yeah, like you said, he kept on saying, like, he kept on talking about his kids, his family, and everything like that. And the way that he was talking about it, it does, like you said, it does seem like I said, it was past trauma, right? So knowing that I'm about to deal with a timeline being pruned again, just maybe like a different scenario, like, yeah, damn, that adds way more layers to his character.
It does.
And then if we go ahead, my bad.
No, go ahead. It's your turn.
No, I was just going to say, and with that, so again, we met different variants of Loki in season 1 on episode 5. Season 2, episode 5, we're meeting we're meeting where they came from on East Island. So, the fact that, what's her name is a doctor, B-15 is an actual doctor. And also, if y'all peep, where was she at and where is it? She's in New York City, New York in 2012. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. What happened in 2012 in New York City? We know, right? So she's in New York, and I don't think all of these things are by happenstance or just a coincidence. OB, 1994, Pasadena, California. You know what I'm saying? And then last but not least, I believe, I forget who was on the last one. Can y'all still hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
You just...
Oh, my bad. My screen froze. That's why I don't know what's going on.
It's all good.
But yeah, and then last but not least, you got Owen Wilson's character B-15. Sylvie was still in Oklahoma. Casey and OB, and now he has his team to go figure out. Okay, because like I know they're going to change history, but what's going to happen after that is my question.
Yeah, man, I see. So here's the thing I'm sitting on. Even like with what you just said. I don't think it's like I agree with you. I don't think it's coincidence of where these people are and what's happening. And I do think that all of this centers around Loki. And it does bring me back to when the Hulk went to go talk to the Grand Sorcerer about the timelines. Remember, this shit don't get fixed until he goes back. He has to get caught by Thor. He has to go through this to lose his mom. Right now, you are the only thing that's causing this sacred timeline to remain not fixed. And he could be the center point of why this is happening. Because they said, what happens when you hit a black hole? You start to turn to spaghetti. What if Loki is the black hole? Damn. It doesn't get fixed until he writes what's happening. And he is supposed to lose.
And see, that's what this show's been showing me. It's like because remember, this Loki that we got is displaced, like you said, right? This Loki is not it's the anomaly in every timeline, you know what I'm saying, as of right now. So while things are happening to him, I am wanting to know, like, what is these implications of somebody that is pulled out of any type of continuity when things happen to this person, and it has to, like, what is that implications of it? Because it's like, it is that, when all these timelines was being pruned and everything like that, Loki was the only one not being affected by him. He wasn't being impacted by him. He wasn't disappearing. He was just, it just goes through the cycle and he's still there. So it's just like, where you said that this has the potential of doing more seasons. I do believe that Loki is going to become like the Lord of Time. Like, he's going to be one of those people that it does, that where he has that control, or he's constantly dealing with time, or just the, of that timeline. But, going back to one of the things that Clint was talking about of seeing everybody's origin and everything, I think also the fact that we never had Loki talk about friends. Like, even with his family, he had an on and off relationship with his family. Like, it wasn't like, it was like, it took a while for him to really be like, Thor, that's my bro. But like, all these people, when we started seeing, and you see that, like I said, they also potentially had already dealings with Loki. This character is out of time, out of place, right? So that moment where he showed up to him, let's say maybe he didn't bring him to the TVA at that time, but that first moment where he saw them escaping and they was like, yo, you helping us or not? That might have been an actual canon event in that timeline. And then he just that villain, I mean not that villain, but that criminal, he's probably, the rest of his life think like, yo, remember that dude that popped up when she saw him? Remember, she saw him first and then he disappeared. But like you said, that was in New York. So she probably was like, yo, I could have swore I just saw Loki again at my hospital. Like everybody had a moment before Loki went back and said, come back to the TVA with me. So it's like now, like I said, I'm really thinking about that, about like what like I said, what is Loki's purpose now in the overall, not just the sacred timeline, but in the overall MCU now? Like that's what I'm interested in heavily.
I think you said it, and then someone even in the chat, Rhythm X said that he will become the god of stories and stuff like that. Like even they said new rock stars confirming it and stuff like that, which I think makes the most sense. Because the only thing I had was him going rewrite what he's done and to where he doesn't do it. So it's just like, hey, let me rewrite this to where like I rewrite my wrongs and we see where we at. But like how you just said, there's still that God mode in him, and it still has. And what's funny about it is it makes more sense into Kang's plan. I need you to be that person. I need you to be the god of stories because someone has to understand it from both sides. You've been the god of mischief. You know what it's like to be a villain, but you also have this dependency inside of this goodness in your heart to want to be good. And so you're going to find that balance in making this story. So now, like you said, the biggest question is, though, what is the new story? And now this goes back to my theory. Oh, yeah, go ahead, Clint.
No. I agree. I mean, I'm just agreeing with you. Like, what is the new story? Go ahead. Yeah.
But that's what makes me think back to that theory that I said of when they dropped that TVA book within the sacred timeline. I feel like we are going to get a new MCU where a lot of these events that we know didn't really happen. And the only reason why I still thoroughly believe that is because I recently watched X-Men's Days of Future Past, and they did this already with Wolverine.
They did do this.
Yes, they did.
Wolverine is the only Wolverine is the only one that knows of this future that never fucking happened. Yeah. So it's like, yo, this could be possible. And like I said, like if they do it to where Kang is Tesla and all of that stuff, I think that it could work to be able to fix a lot of the holes that we were missing, like mutants and the Fantastic Four. What you about to say, Clint?
So what Wolverine did was he disintegrated a branch timeline because the timeline happened or the Sentinels were created because they ended up getting Mystique's blood, and that was the final. Like now you can adapt to any mutant, blah 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 blah, and that's when they eradicate that. So basically, they just make sure that he made sure that didn't happen. I say all that to say, I don't know if that's what's going to happen per se, Will. What I do think is going to happen is like we got to remember, right? We're going to see Kang again at some point, or some variant or version of him, right? Yeah. If I'm being honest, he dictates everything that's going on. But the crazy thing is he's writing all of this and he's dead, or he who remains is dead, or supposedly dead, or whatever. So now the real thing we need to ask ourselves going into this finale tonight is when you like, it's going to be, they're going to rewrite the story. That's going to be, I think they're going to address that in the first 10 minutes. What happens after that?
Yeah.
That's really the question.
Well, I was going to ask, because now you may just maybe think about something like we saying that Kang is writing it, right? But He Who Remains, when we met him last season, he was reading the script, right? It was like who wrote the script for him?
That's a good question.
Because now I'm thinking
about, I'm like, okay, if Kang or He Who Remains or whatever was supposed to be the person. Like, yeah, I get it that you know what's going on, but you still had it scripted out and written out. Like, you still had how this timeline was going to go out. Did you write it and know? Like, I mean, you knew because you read, but it's like, but did you also write it?
Well, that could go back to what he said about when he said, I would just reappear right here. Reincarnation, baby. Like like that part is where that book could have already been there when he gets there. And we also learned that with him having the TVA book dropped to him.
Yeah.
So he already knows like this is a reoccurring thing, which is why I say we've had multiple multiversal wars. Yeah. And it's always been this guy has survived, and they're just in different scenarios as to what happened. We just happen to be on scenario 633 where we have this sacred timeline going on.
Yeah.
And so like we're trying to figure out, how do you break this loop? How do you break the Ouroboros and change everything and defeat this madman who has put us in a whole bunch of bullshit?
But are we supposed to break the loop now? Now that poses the question. If this loop has been going on and us as humans on Earth and in timeline such and such haven't really felt the impacts of it and everything, and it seems like only the people in the TVA and outside of time and space knows it, what happens when you break the loop? Because maybe the loop is supposed to happen.
Well, no, so that's another thing that we learned from Ant-Man Quantumania at the end credit when he said they're touching the multiverse. So what's happening is nature is trying to render itself back. Like Kang, so just imagine Kang took time and put it in a box, not just a sacred timeline, but he took time to control it the way he wants to. And you can't do that. So you just got time trying to break and get back to what it naturally knows.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Because the multiverse is a natural thing. There's supposed to be a multiverse. So, which also brings me to my next idea, or not idea, but now I'm thinking about it, right? I mean, we now know that even though there's a sacred timeline, there's multiple sacred timelines, because in Doctor Strange, there's no way he's traveling the multiverse in those different timelines unless they don't happen. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So now the question is like, what's going to happen when, like, because the multiverse is already broken. So now maybe, you know what I think? Maybe, I think we might see the Kang Dynasty in action in this movie. Not this premiere or this last episode. I think we're going to see the beginning, or when I say the beginning, like we might see a collide of, you know how like in the Avengers Endgame it was all the motherfuckers running to each other and they about to fight.
Yeah, I
think we're about to see a multiversal war like that. I think we're going to see I think we're going to see that tonight.
I think, I don't know. I don't think we're going to get it, but what I want and what I hope we get is I want to see. Like I said, right now we've been seeing like the reaction happening from the TVA and prune timelines, right? But we haven't seen anybody else react to what's going on. That's what I really want to get. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I get it, Strange is traveling and doing his thing, but like, I want to know what Strange feels about this. I want to know how Thor, like I want to start seeing now some of the characters react to what's going on, because remember that was one of the biggest things. Like, I love this series down to everything. The only thing that I'm still like, the biggest thing that I'm thirsting for now is I need to see my other people react to it, because I don't even know, because I'm like, how does that feel? Like, how does that look from Spider-Man and the news, Tom Holland, and he's broke now and everything, but like with this and things that are happening, what does that mean for him? What does that mean for the people in Wakanda? What does that mean for everybody? And how are they experiencing it? Are they seeing the spaghettis? Are they getting, are they getting zapped somewhere to kind of, so that way they're safe? How does that seem to them now? That is the biggest thing that at least if they don't give us at least one character like that, just give us at least a implication, an Easter egg, something so we know that now we're getting back to the main storyline of we need to get the band back together.
I think that's the thing we need to see.
Yeah, I think that's been everybody's issue. I think we're trying to figure out, like, okay, well, how does this impact the entire MCU? Like, we're seeing all these other shows and movies, and it's like they don't know what the fuck is going on with the multiverse, right? Like, why is Nick like, we're about to watch the Marvels, no impact, or so we know. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, but you know what? To that point, I will say that about this. Just to speak on the Marvels, that's not a bad thing. This is one of those ones. Like, and I will say this too. I think it is a lot of BS, the criticism that it is getting, and I really do just think it's geared toward the fact that it is starring majority of women, and a woman directed it, because like 4 people I know have went seen it, and all of them say, yo, this movie is fire. Like, for what it is fire. And it is basically 3 characters. We don't really know what their place is in the MCU, what they're doing. It is great to see them in a situation that could potentially tie into something. And they do a great job of blending them together. They said this was the perfect one. They was like, this is a version of like Guardians of the Galaxy, giving some characters that we haven't put in yet, but putting them in a good scenario. And they was like, that's what this movie is. And it was like, so to all the people that's hating out there, please don't follow that shit, because I'm probably gonna go see it tomorrow, because I've heard that it is good. Yeah,
I was gonna say regardless. One, like I said, I told y'all, in our group chat, I'm actually excited for it. I was let down hearing people saying that it was trash, but again, like I said, I listen to my mutuals. I don't necessarily listen to critics, but also Tiana Paris is in it. I was going for her for off rip. Like, I'm just throwing that out there. I was like, yo, hey, if I get more of her, I'm definitely going.
Yeah. But back even to y'all point, like, we need someone that has knowledge on this, and then this would be the perfect time for Vision to come back.
Ooh,
because we need some. We need someone that got knowledge of the multiverse to teach them what's going on.
Not even the knowledge. What if that's what he? Because remember, he got enlightened and then he went up. But we don't. We're assuming that he went up to space. But remember, Vision he's AI. He's heavily advanced. He's on a whole new level. What if he started seeing again? His name is Vision. So what if he saw this? He saw all of this, and he's trying to find a way to get to the TVA so he can be a part of, like, figure out, well, where how to help out or what the case, because like again, we still don't know what he saw, what enlightened him and where he went. We still don't know that, and it would make more sense if it wasn't an intergalactical issue, but it was this. It would make way more sense for the character Vision, because if it's just some shit in space, I'm like, we already got enough people in space to be dealing with shit. I get it, you know what I'm saying, getting Vision up in space, but I'm like, it wouldn't be as big.
You know what though? I actually learned not necessarily, because think about it, we don't have the Guardians no more. They never established Nova Corps, so the only one we have really is Captain Marvel. We don't really have no one in space anymore.
But do you really want to see
what the fuck the Eternals doing?
Do you
no,
really
not a Vision? No, not a space quest. No, not at all. But I wouldn't mind if he had, like, if they really talking about bringing Galactus, I wouldn't mind him knowing about that. I wouldn't mind him knowing the scale. That's the shit I would say, and I think that's some of the stuff that's missing in the MCU too. I think they do need to figure out the scale in which they dealing with stuff. So for him to understand where from humanoid to Titans like Thanos to Celestials like the Living Tribunal, I think him having that knowledge could really be able to help out. But even to like your point of what you said though, there's still a lot of stuff they gotta tie up within the MCU they done already done. So it's just like, even like how the Clint said, it's kind of, it would seem slightly like a cop-out if like they decide to get just rid of all of that and we reset the timeline. I think I still wouldn't mind seeing it, because like I say, it fixes a lot. But to your point, we still got to figure out like what Doctor Strange incursion was and what's going on with that. What's happening here with the Agatha Hart in this movie and stuff like that.
And don't forget, man, Wanda still need to pay for that shit she did in 38.
Nah, they confirmed she's dead. Like Kevin Feige confirmed she's dead.
I ain't
like,
believing
she's
that.
Dead, and I don't believe that, because that's stupid. Yeah, because that's stupid. If y'all do that, that's dumb as fuck. That is a dumb decision to keep her unalive. That's so dumb. Mm-hmm.
But you know,
so stupid.
What you said though about them resetting the timeline, if they do it, it can't be like it can't be a flawless reset. Like it can't be a flawless reset where everybody just accept it. It got to be one of those resets where, like, pretty much like AI, where you know how like when AI first started rolling out to like us as users being able to use it, and but when you look at it, you start seeing small shit like, yo, why they got 12 fingers, or why they eye a little bit jacked up, like, you know, you started seeing things. Right? If they do the timeline reset, there got to be small things that like certain people are going to be pointing out, like, yo, this looks weird as a bitch. So that way it's not a flawless one, and it still has implications over the big story, and it makes sense. It's like, yeah, we reset the timeline, but like, hey, some shit is off. Some shit don't make sense.
You may just be right on what you just said, because now you just made me remember another thing that we may have already seen, that the end of Ant-Man Quantumania, when he was walking and he started talking and looking how everything was just slightly different.
Yeah.
What if he is in the real sacred timeline? We kept trying to think of like maybe like Kang put him somewhere, but think about it. What if he never went back to his timeline?
Oh yeah, because we don't know where he went.
We don't know where he went.
Because that's, to me, that's been the biggest like dope thing that Loki has been doing, is when they go to different timelines and they're established that little title card telling us sacred timeline. Not like, I'm like, yo,
that's a big deal. That's a big deal.
Big deal.
And that's what made me go back to thinking about all of these titles we even started seeing, especially with talking about Kang, or where we have an impact with Loki. It's like, yo, like, where is this exactly happening? And then the thing of them handing him off that TVA book in the sacred timeline, I'm like, yo, that's too important for her to have done for the story that they trying to get set up.
Right.
And so, and then that one would make sense to give, like, especially for two of them, for two of the Kang Dynasty people that is supposed to be focused on, which is Centaurian. So, who eventually becomes Scarlet Centaurian. Centaurian gets technology from our time today. So who's to say that variant of Victor Timely don't become that machine version that we saw in the end credit of Quantumania? Because we still got to go through them. Those three, I think, are the Kang Dynasty, and those are the three that they are going to have to hit simultaneously in order to stop this shit. That's just my theory.
Yeah, what was you about to say, Clint?
No, I'm just like, man, bring on the fucking show. Right?
Yeah, man.
Hey, yeah.
And this should have came out at midnight.
Because
this also came out.
Also, we got to talk about my guy, Obi, man. Obi, listen here. Obi's storyline has been one of my favorite storylines of this show. Like, even showing that he was even showing that, like, yo, he was an author on the grind, and he was like he was like like he was trying to, like, just dropping his books off, and then just like, bro, like, even the way when he was talking to Loki, he was like, oh yeah, man, I think I got a book around here, and then he was like,
I got a copy around here somewhere. They're like, oh, look, I found one. You're so lucky. You're so lucky.
But like, even how the fact that he equated everything to fiction and science fiction, and then was even just off of theorizing off of science fiction on how Loki, like how to guide Loki to, you know what I'm saying, get confident with his powers and everything like that. Like, I was like, yo, there's way more to Obi's mind that we got to dive way more deeper into.
I got a theory about that. I think Obi is doing what Loki's doing, but with his brain. I think his brain can time jump into different scenarios of himself, kind of like Kang was, and figuring this out. And the reason why I think that is because of how fast he built that fucking thing to go through doors.
Yeah, he built that.
I was like, yo, he built that so quick. I was like, yo, there's no way this regular author dude wrote this. But and then the way he talks, though, and the more I thought about it, he talks like he's displaced. You know what I'm saying? And then that even brings me back to the first time when he was talking, and then he was saying, wait, no, your friend has been here before. It's like, yo, you're kind of like, it's, you know what it is? It's like Dr. Manhattan from Watchmen, where he's basically all in one place at the same time. Like, he'll be sitting here like, yo, I'm in 1984 and I'm sitting with you at this cafe. I feel like Obi's brain has some kind of version of that power.
You know what? I agree with you on that because, like I said, going like exactly what you said during that moment. Remember, I feel like when he first met Loki, like you said, he really did not know Loki. But then when Loki time slipped back and then introduced himself, that's when he remembered, right? So like it's exactly what you said. It's almost he's out of everybody, instead of everybody having their variants living and you don't know what's going on. Obi's the one mind that he experiences every variant of himself at the exact same time. So if something happens to one person, that information comes there, and then and he has it he only accesses it when he needs it. But like, yeah, he has that potential. Damn, that's crazy, because then like he may literally be the catalyst of what the whole TVA is. Because remember, that's the one thing that we're getting back to is the birth of the TVA. And we know that both Victor Timely and Obi wrote that handbook for the TVA. So what if it's Victor Timely? Because we already established that Victor Timely's kind of a shyster. He's kind of shifty. Mm-hmm. What if he manipulated Obi's mind and turned Obi's mind into the brainchild of what the TVA is? Because he realized that though I have variants, this is the only person that I've ever met that can experience everybody's mind at once, and that allows you to have control over abundance of timelines or variants. And then probably what he tried to do with all the Kangs is like, all right, if I can get all the Kangs and I can control them and I can have that same mindset like Obi, then I can be he who remains. There's so much, bro. There's so many layers to this show that I love
this show, bro.
Because like I said, Obi, he's been one of my favorite characters in regards to that. And then Mobius as well. And then also it's like, it seems like everybody, like, is Loki the one giving everybody their nicknames? Because did they just confirm that he gave Mobius his nickname, or am I tripping? Because when he was like,
when he was like, "Yo, that's a good name," yeah. So again, too. But to your point though, with the whole being the god of stories, that could be what this whole thing is after He Who Remained died. So it's just like, yo, what if like Loki is writing this entire time and doesn't know he's doing it? Yeah, and that's why now he finally gets it, but then also comes to understanding that Kang is a necessity that has to happen.
Yeah,
he is a necessity. That's I think that first of all, that has been the recurring theme with Loki. It's like He Who Remains spooked this nigga so bad, right?
Bruh.
He spooked this nigga so bad that he like, nah, dog. We need Kang.
Yeah, and even in the opening scene of this episode, here, like, what I'm saying, like, you got to think about it. Like, he went back and saw himself, right? And then he time slipped to a point where he saw himself see himself again, right? Think about the very, very first episode of this episode. He knew that he needed to prune himself to stop the time slipping, right? But then we see in another episode where he goes back and he makes the decision to prune himself because he knows it. Like you said, like Will said, he may not know that he's writing this out, but there's certain things that have to happen no matter what. And that's what I'm saying. Like, maybe the loop is not meant to be broken. And then, like I said, maybe the loop is meant to happen, but this journey of trying to stop it is all part of it that happens. And then you restart it and do it again.
Now, this is something interesting right here. Now, hear me out. Obi is the timeline in living form.
Hey, you cooking. You actually cooking, bro.
Yeah, what's it? Rhythm Max, you are definitely cooking. Let this motherfucker cook.
Let this motherfucker cook. He also wrote something else. He said, since Miss Minutes is only AI and couldn't become flesh, Obi doesn't want to be controlled like Calypso's for Pirates of the Caribbean.
Bro, hey, he got some solid.
Bring his ass on the show.
Hey man, these be some of the perks of being live when we do this stuff, man. Like, and we might have to start doing that a little more often.
Because if basing it off of that, if Obi is the timeline, like, is like, you know what I'm saying, like in real life, right? He's the living form of it, right? Then if Obi truly gets pruned, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what is that implication to the timeline then at that point? Is that what
If
truly
he gets
started?
pruned, and he is the catalyst to the. Go ahead, Will.
No, just to what y'all point is right there. If he gets pruned, we just saw it. He's the temporal loom. I bet that's what keeps Kang to have all of what he has. Because also think about it. When them tubes drop, what is OB actually fixing? We never thought to ask, like, when he gets these requests, what exactly is he fixing?
He always
could it be an event, and could it be an event in time that has happened? And so it's like, oh, okay, let me make sure I fix that.
That's fair. That's fair.
So Obi could either be time itself, or he could be the person that's in charge of writing the story.
Wait, so now I'm thinking about it, because the TVA and Obi's job is pretty, like you said, it's pretty much just a work order, right? So what if when you prune the timeline, to kind of the theory on, you prune the timeline, and then Obi gets the work order, like, hey, fix this timeline back up. And that's what he's doing. Like you said, he's literally fixing the timeline based off the work order of this timeline got pruned. It comes down to shoot. It's like, fuck, all right, I got to fix universe 358. And that's what he's doing. He's fixing the timeline, putting it back and getting that back together.
I'm more so nervous to find out, like, first of all, I can't wait to find out, like, I'm going to be honest with you, we all going to be wrong. Right, like that's the crazy part. Like, we're making all these predictions and shit like that, but like we all gonna be wrong as fuck. Because don't forget,
and it's gonna be the most simple shit they go with.
Right, because here's the thing: I'm gonna see some things. We see some things in the trailer that we have not seen yet. Right, we know Renslayer's in the void. We don't know what she's doing in the void. We see her coming face to face with Elias.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. See, and that's what I wanted to see, because I will say too, like, I don't know how they're gonna do it or how long the finale is, but I will say from this last episode, I was kind of like, I wanted them to wrap up the temporal loom exploding on 5, so we get to see a majority of that. So I'm hoping them fixing the temporal loom isn't something that is half of the whole episode. Like, wrap that shit up in 10 minutes and let's get to
that's what I'm saying.
Renslayer. Let's get to the rest of this shit.
The final episode is 56 minutes. I just looked it up. 56 minutes, a full 56 minutes.
So what was episode 5?
Episode, let me see. How long?
Episode 5, yeah, I think episode 5 was short. It was had to be like 43 or something like that.
Yeah. Episode 5 was a bit short. I think it was like 39 minutes. No, my bad. No. I'm thinking of Gen V. I'm sorry. No, I don't know. I'm thinking of Gen V.
Talk to me, Deuce. What you got?
Hold on. I gotta pull that one. It's not telling me on this one. I'm about to pull it up on my Disney. Keep on talking. I got y'all.
So no, but I believe it was somewhere around the 40-something minute mark, right? Like it wasn't 50.
Yeah.
The point I'm making is, if it's 56 minutes, you got to add in about 2 to 3 minutes for credits, and maybe like. And maybe like
Easter egg.
So we're going to get like 53 minutes of straight up action
of heat.
Of heat, yeah. We're gonna get.
It was 46 minutes, so we already got an extra 11 minutes on this one.
See what I'm saying?
Okay. A lot can happen in 11 minutes on this show. A lot can
happen in 11 fucking minutes on this show.
Okay. So before we get out of here, what do you season finale tonight, 6 p.m. Pacific time over here? What are you expect? What do you want to see in this season finale?
I want them niggas to lose. Because if we're going to the Kang dynasty and we get back to the implications of we need to get the band together, I need, for whatever happens in this season finale, Loki don't win. Loki don't come out on top. Something happens with Obi. Like I need everybody to be like shit. Like I need that how we felt when we left Infinity War. I need that. I need that gut punch. That's what I want.
So here's what I need. I need to see Kang the Conqueror at his purest and mightiest form, right? Like we seen him in Ant-Man and Quantumania, but he was banished and he lost to some ants. We seen him as He Who Remains in Loki 1. Cool. But I want to see how bad this motherfucker is, right? Like you, and almost kind of like what you said to Infinity War, right? I didn't know how bad Thanos was until I saw Infinity War. I'm like, oh, this motherfucker cold, right? Like there's certain villains, like people don't like, and not to make this about DC, right? But the Joker was sinister, but Bane was just a bad. He beat Batman.
He beat Batman.
Right,
bro,
like
hold on.
Outsmarted Batman, but Bane beat this nigga ass.
Hey, I know we talking about Loki, but I recently rewatched Gotham, bro. I'm not Gotham. The Dark Knight series and all 3 movies. When Bane and Batman fought, you knew within the first minute Batman was going to lose. The sound, there was no background sound. It was broken out, and Batman was throwing the heaviest punches, and Bane was just eating them bitches like, what? What? I said,
these were the 2 things when I knew Batman was in trouble. When that gate closed, he said, "You made a terrible mistake." That nigga Bane was like, "Not as terrible as yours, I'm afraid." I'm like, he can whoop your ass. And then there was one punch he threw where Bane did this and came back. I was like, "Oh, you lost."
Bro, when they panned to Selena Kyle and she was sitting there in the cage just looking, I said, "Oh, dog, this nigga."
I said, "Yo, this nigga's in trouble." I was like, "Somebody help! Somebody help!" I was like, "Hey, bro, I ain't never been scared for Batman in my life, but when I saw that, and I was like, yo, there ain't no, hey, Robin ain't around, and Alpha can't get down there to you, like, yo."
No,
and
I ain't never seen a hero get his ass whooped like that until I saw Hulk get his ass beat. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the same thing. It was the same thing. Same thing. Bane beat Batman to fuck up. Hey, this nigga
Thanos put the put the whippersnappers on him.
He gave him a quick. Hulk was like, oh shit.
This nigga got hope.
Bro said, let him have his fun. Let him have his fun. I said, fun.
Let him have his fun. I said, bro, the bigger dude was finna go. He said, no, he got it, and showed Hulk, hey, bro, you ain't nothing but an angry little bitch. Let me show you what it's like when you got somebody eye to eye with you. Yo, he just showed him like you are a bully. That's what you've been all this time, a bully, and you got humbled. Real quick, that man chopped you in your neck. You remember the sound, Hulk? I never heard the Hulk be in pain in my entire existence until that scene.
All right, but yeah. I'm with you, Clint, man. I want to see how I do want to see, man. Show me how beastie this nigga Kang can be.
Yeah, man. I want to see Renslayer be a Kang variant. That's what I want. I want to see her meet up. I want it to be kind of just like how Loki was. I want to see other versions of herself. And different Kangs and everything like that, and then just kind of see something, or I just want to see what's happening with her in the void. What's happening? What's happened since Live got enchanted? Like, is he destroyed? Is he something more sinister now since the timelines have broken? Is he smaller since the timelines have broken? Like what? Like, is he out of control? Like, what's going on? What happened to the other Lokis? I would love to see another. Hey, I would love a cameo from the kid Loki, and to know that the old version of Loki that did the enchantment at the end survived. I would love to know that.
They did it. They haven't showed us what's up with the other Lokis. I forgot all about them. Yeah,
I would love to see that. And hopefully Frog Thor escaped out that little glass and is around. So that's what I want to see. But yeah, man. But I know I know that Clint is gonna have to take off because I know he got a lot of stuff going on. So I do appreciate his time as well as Deuces. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap this thing up for Marvel's Thursday. You started off with straight out of a comic book, talking about Loki and getting ready for the Loki season finale. As we said, the Marvels are in theaters today. If you got time, go check it out. Just go see it. Don't screw the critics. Go be your own critic and just get out into the movies. You know, when the last time you've been in the movies?
Listen,
go out and see it.
I'm going to the movies. I'm going to the movies first thing tomorrow morning. Tonight is Loki night. Tomorrow is Marvels. I might do both, to be honest with you, right? Like Loki come out. I'm on the East Coast, you know what I'm saying? And I might just do, hey man, let me watch Loki from 9 or whatever. And then if there's a 11 o'clock Miss Marvel showing, I'm going. Fuck it.
Shit, you can even catch the 3 p.m. Miss Marvel. Watch that stuff and then shit, come to Loki.
Yeah, shit. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Mm-hmm. So I do need to go see that.
Yeah, but make sure y'all see both of them. The finale starts at 6 p.m. Specific time. That's 8 p.m. Central Time, 9 p.m. for y'all on the East Coast. Let us know in the comments what you thought about Loki episode 5. What do you want to see in the season finale? And you already know we'll come back, hopefully with the whole squad. They'll have watched all the episodes. We can sit here and talk about just what the fuck happened and what we could be looking forward to. But thank you for everybody for tuning in. Please make sure you like, subscribe to the channels, the Arcade Token YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe and follow my Twitch channel. Back on Twitch, and y'all already know how I do on the Twitch channel. It'd be a show on there. And then make sure that you are following the Geek Set podcast on all streaming platforms as well as all social platforms. And make sure you go to YouTube and check out Clint Coley stand-up special, My Edible Kicked In. That's YouTube's Everybody Eats Productions. Go over there, check it out, watch it past 30 seconds, watch the whole thing. You're gonna laugh your ass off, leave comments, hit that little like button. We're trying to get it to 1 million views, all right? Because that's what it deserves.
Quick.
Y'all go check it out.
Real quick, can I make 2 requests? Number 1, Dion Lack, I don't want him on the show. All right, I don't want Dion Lack. I don't want him on the show. All right. When we come back to discuss Loki, I do not want, because I know what I'm getting from this guy. He is going to give us, we're all gonna be like, that shit was crazy. The fact that He Who Remains was this guy and it was the whole thing. And he like, I didn't get enough.
I didn't learn anything. That's my problem is I didn't learn anything.
I didn't learn anything. And I'm just like, what are we doing, Dion?
Like, what are we doing in the MCU? What are we doing? I don't understand what we doing right now. Facts. Shout out to Dion, man.
Shout out to Dion. The second thing is, Will said we try to get the special to 1 million. Right now, we're about at 225,000. So I appreciate everybody who did watch. If you came from straight out of comic book and you watched, thank you. I mean, it's been out a month, 225,000 on YouTube. That is not light. So thank you, man. I really appreciate that.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Thank y'all for tuning in and coming in so early in the morning, man. Really appreciate y'all. Believe me, I see the counting here, and I'm glad y'all are in here. Keep that stream up. We're building up this community, and we thank all of y'all for tuning in. And so have yourself a great Thursday, a great Marvel Thursday. Make it about Marvel. Go catch up on some stuff. Get ready for some new things, and we will be back next week to discuss all of Loki. So until then, we'll catch you next time.
Yeah.